has a range of 150 to 165, but chaos, oh, it gets crazy. Anywhere between 100 to 230 hit points, and can cast either the spell of sleep or the spell of heal.
All right, we're off. Let's see what goodies are in the throne room this time around.
Yes, 3 treasure chests, which will help here to get things moving. It looks like we've got some big bucks, as well as a torch, and some more big bucks.
Oh, with Chaos Mode, that is some money that can go a long way. You never know when you're going to run into magic armor that costs, maybe $500. In the treasury, we have Dragon Scale and Fighter's Ring, and some more money, and I believe an herb. So, pretty nice set of utility items right at the start.
That is correct. So there is the possibility for a treasure chest glitch, or gold grind as it's known. We'll get more into that later as we move along. And right now we've got enemies being fought on the outside by Ryguy and Jack. Ry heading back on in. Larry going to take a look and see what is in the basement of Tanager Castle.
Well, Ryguy already off to a rocket start here. Finds a wyvern, and even though the wyvern had hurt, didn't have very much HP, and just goes down like a sack of potatoes. Ryguy already at level 7.
Holy smokes. Just from one enemy kill. All right, so that's 64 hit point growth from those 6 levels.
Oh, and he's got hurt more at 7 as well, so runs into a werewolf that seems to be a bit tanky. Let's see if this double hurt more knocks him out.
Now, those items in the treasury, the herb, well, that heals hit points. You obviously know what money does. The Dragon Scale, when you put it on, it adds 2 defense points to your total. And the Fighter's Ring, when you put it on, it adds 2 attack power to your total. And we've got a Wraith Knight taking out AngryLarry. Bry had taken a reset and perhaps kind of starting from scratch. Meanwhile, Ryguy having found the town of Garenham, which has access to 3 more treasure chests. And we've got our first shop with, a very inexpensive chainmail, but is going to opt for the magic armor, which is the best armor that money can buy. And while not 500, 1494, not too bad.
Yeah, so credit to Ryguy, that level, that wyvern kill is definitely giving him a huge advantage, allowing him to run away enough times to make it to the town with all his money. We've got the Stones of Sunlight in Garenham as well, so that is a very, very nice find.
And Jackimus, meanwhile, had found the wyvern, but was not able to hang on. And in the back of Garenham, we have the very vanilla Garen's Grave.
Looks like Larry started over so that he could grind some gold and some... looks like some of the herbs as well. So, pretty heads-up play to give him a nice starting advantage. brisulph finds a knight, and he only does 1 damage. They're only doing 1 damage to each other, so maybe this is another option. We'll see.
And what we mean as far as the option is an enemy that we refer to as the Wet Noodle, which, let's see here. In the Garen's Grave, the first 3 chests, we have an herb, we've got the silver harp, and we've got some big bucks.
So already, silver harp and Stones of Sunlight in hand. Just got to find the token in that armor, and off to the races.
Yeah, so the Wet Noodle, as we refer to, there's 1 monster in the beginning 3 zones of the game, the areas around Tanager Castle, as well as directly north, south, east, and west, that are guaranteed to have 5 hit points or less and I believe 5 attack power or less, and no chicanery as far as spells or Dragon Lord Breath or Fire Breath or anything of that nature. So because it won't attack very hard, the less hit points that our players lose when a monster attacks, the more likely it's that low HP monster. But the challenge is determining which of the 15 potential monsters it is. And we have Jackimus taking out an enemy and getting 40 experience, and that boosts him up to at least level 2 as he now makes his way south and west over to Garenham.
Yeah, Bry running into a metal slime, and good heads-up play to immediately reset. That would have been a long, drawn-out death if they were just missing each other.
And chat noticing and Ryguy finding out as well that red slimes have that Dragon Lord 2 breath that does anywhere from 64 to 72 hit points of damage. You see AngryLarry has a King's Ransom of over 33,000 gold. And, well, reasoning for that is pretty simple. It has to do with a glitch that's being taken advantage of in the game. In that treasure chests respawn every time you go to the overworld map, but due to the limitations in programming at the time the game was made, it only tracks up to 8 chests as opened. So any chest open beyond that 8th chest can be taken over and over again. Now, in the start of this particular run, the way that it works is you take the 3 treasure chests that the king offers you, and then you leave the throne room, come back into the throne room where those chests are marked as open so you don't take them over and over again. So that adds up a total to 6. And then you go into the treasury, open up 2 more, and by the time you get to that 9th one, you hope that it's gold so you can take anywhere from 500 to 750 gold over and over again to stock up on some big bucks, as Larry is hoping to keep here. And the Axe Knight running away and hitting for 1, I wonder if that might be that noodle that we were talking about. And Zarnax making the same observation in chat. Great minds think alike.
Well, right now, Larry makes it to Garenham, and he's going to be, I don't know, maybe a little disappointed in what we see here. I mean, magic armor and the club and the small shield. It's always dangerous doing that gold grind blind in chaos mode, because you just never know what you're going to end up with.
And so AngryLarry ends up buying a club at over 100 times its normal face value.
I mean, maybe it's one of those new hybrid clubs, you know?
Maybe it's a club set to go golfing 18 with.
Well, it would make sense. I mean, brisulph and Jackimus have some real nice times in NES Open Tournament golf.
I can see it now. Thou hast brandished the 9-iron. And so it's the knight that gave 40, and now we're going to get another level here on Ryguy's side with a huge 30 MP gain.
Yeah, that extra 30 MP is going to go a long way to helping Ryguy explore. And all our runners, once they get there, Hurt More is definitely going to be the weapon of choice for making it through the overworld.
As Jackimus falls to a magician, Bry with the heal spell, looking to do a little traversing and traveling. And there's something you don't see every day on Ryguy's side, the red dragon running away.
This is no place for the fun police. It's chaos mode.
Yes, in the more standard version of Dragon Warrior Randomizer, as well as the vanilla version of the game, The Red Dragon are known as the Fun Police because when they show up, the fun tends to stop, as they have the highest strength and among the highest agility of the enemies and are usually very difficult to kill. But Eternal Newbie saying it best in chat, it is satisfying to see a Red Dragon run away after how much junk they've given everybody here. And there's AngryLarry getting up to level 7.
All right, well, it's his turn to hit the rocket booster, and gets hit for some nice damage by that red slime.
And sure to ignite that rocket is the red slime with the Dragon Lord 2 breath, with a very significant amount of damage. Now, I know in the beginning we said that the experience growth was going to be very fast. I wasn't expecting it to be 145 to get to level 7. But such is chaos.
Yeah, Ryguy finding another wyvern, and there is, maybe one level. We'll see. Yep, level 10.
Yeah, just the one. It's slowed down a little bit.
That was quite a nice level for just being one, though. Lots of 5+ bumps there.
And brisulph taking out another enemy, and that's going to vault him from level 3 to level 7. So this turns out to not be one of those seeds where all of our runners are spending a half hour to get their first kill on an enemy. And it's certainly very swift by comparison to see here, about 12 minutes in, that all of our runners, the lowest level is Jack at level 3, but one more enemy kill, and that's going to be, he'll be right back in the mix with everybody else.
Yeah, it's a lot nicer to avoid those 4 strength struggles, and Ryguy finding Caitlin, so we'll see if the Silver Shield is lurking.
Caitlin, the proverbial shopping mall of Alefgard, as it has 3 different weapon and armor shops. And we have a question in chat, which level was hurt more? It was somewhere between level 4 and 7, as a few of our runners, in taking out just a wyvern, were able to leap from level 1 to level 7.
Wow, Flame Sword for 44. That's pretty impressive.
The best weapon that money can buy, and I'll have to check the spell list here, as I thought it was acquired at 7. It may have been at 8, in which case, I know we did see that Ryguy has it. No, he does have it at 7. So now we are going to take a look in the town of Caitlin here at the Old Man, and we'll see if there are any coordinates to one of those searchable spots. And we do 39 south and 21 east.
So most of the time, those sound like pretty walkable coordinates, so wouldn't be surprised to see Ryguy taking a shot at that the next time he goes back to the penalty box.
And Bry back into Garenham, picking up some gold, it looks like, here. And now there's a wyvern kill on Jack's side. That's going to vault him up to level 7. 29, 20, 39, and 19 for your gains. And there's another wyvern.
Hey, nice follow-up. So that should get him pretty close to level 8.
And now we have the very anticlimactic town of Rimeldar.
With an empty chest, so probably an herb.
Well, it would normally be either an herb or a magic key, but since keys are disabled in this, that narrows the possibility down to 1. Now, the way that the empty chest works in this case is if you already have a maximum amount in your inventory, which is 6, as Jackimus passing by Charlotte Castle. So they'll be getting there at some point. But if you're maxed out at 6, then you try to open up the chest to get a 7th one, it will just say that the chest is empty.
All right, another wyvern kill for AngryLarry is going to take him to level 8.
And that huge gain of MP, 34 for AngryLarry.
brisulph taking down a red dragon, but only for 28 experience points.
They're stingy with the experience this time around.
Ooh, Stoneman swinging for 40, and Larry decides he wants none of it. Ooh, the magician dropping 215 experience, so he's a very nice enemy to find.
Wow, and a Hurtmore not taking out a red slime, but the second one does. And it looks like we have the tablet cave on Ryguy's side. So access to a free treasure chest, no enemy encounters.
And he finds Erdrick's cologne, some fairy water, to repel some enemies.
Yeah, enemies that are weaker than you. Yeah, anything where your defense points are the same as or higher than their strength, but with things being completely randomized, that could repel 2 enemies, or it could repel 20.
Always nice to have one for the run to Charlotte, just in case you're on that Healmore border and you don't want to spend the 2 MP to cast Repel.
And in taking a look at a chat here, the folks behind the scenes look as though they haven't been updated. So which one of us is Catastrophe and which one of us is Chess Jerk?
I mean, I haven't played chess in like maybe 10 years, so I don't know. You got me beat there, probably.
Either way, I think we're put in check. Now, alongside Edgeworth, I'm Ferran Burgundy, and we are bringing you Dragon Warrior Randomizer.
And Ryguy fishing out the token, so as soon as he finds the jerk in the harp cave, these all ready to go. Just a question of where that pesky armor ended up.
Yep, Erdrick's token in the town of Cole.
Yeah, the jerk's right next to her. So, just got to turn in that harp, and that rainbow drop is going to be in Ryguy's hands before you know it.
And Jack now getting jumped by a Spectre that thankfully only hits for 1. And Jack says, all right, I'm not afraid of any ghosts. Here's a Hurtmore for you. 96 experience, and that gets a level.
Yeah, pretty solid enemy to kill. And looks like the exploration is in full swing here. Bry is diving Garen's grave right now. Ryguy finding good old 6 Town.
Showing its purpose of having an inn for only 6 gold, and I don't even think that he spent 6 seconds in the town.
Oh, there's another one coming up, and I think we have yet to see Hawksness, so that's a possibility.
Right on cue. So Hawksness, the abandoned town that just has enemies inside of it. There is a guardian enemy, and it is a poltergeist, which, if I recall right, was pretty easy to take out with a hurt more and gave a pretty good chunk. Yep, 130 experience, and nothing in the search spot in Hawksness.
All right, so the coordinates are the armor.
In the chest.
And also good to tuck away with 130 experience from that fight. Not a bad grind spot either.
And Bry getting partway into Garen's grave and finding an empty herb chest.
I'm surprised he's trying to run away from the poltergeist. Maybe he just wants to... maybe that was intentional, just trying to take it down.
Well, there was still one more chest to open. He didn't go all the way down into the grave.
Yeah, that is strange.
Maybe it was just in, let me try to get away from everything and get all the way down there. But some of these enemies have ridiculously high agility and defense.
Yeah, I think in chaos mode you just have to play a lot more aggressive, and sometimes a double hurt more is better than failing to run 5 times.
Well, that's a ridiculously expensive large shield. Almost as expensive as the silver shield in the vanilla game. A little over 13, almost 14,000 gold. As Larry finds the shopping mall here.
And Bry going back to the throne room again. And silver shield 4355. So that should be something all the runners end up with. And Larry's going to happily pick that up.
So right now, Larry has, as well as Ryguy, the best equipment that money can buy. The only items that are better, Erdrick's sword, which is in a treasure chest, and Erdrick's armor, which is in a search spot. And we know by default that that search spot is the overworld spot where the coordinates are, the 39 south and 21 east. And Newbie saying in chat that Ryguy did not get the silver shield. He didn't have the money for it. Interesting.
Yeah, so Larry's gold grind, even though it didn't pay out in Garenham, certainly helped out here.
Yeah, just had a little bit of a fatter wallet throughout. And now Bry getting up to level 10. So now the level's starting to even out a little bit. Larry and Bry at 10. Ryguy and Jack at 11.
Yeah, Ryguy's still with about a 2,000 experience lead over everyone else, though. So, I mean, that start definitely helped him out a lot. But now it's going to come down to exploration. And we'll see who finds... Staff of Rain Cave first.
And in the Vanilla Stones of Sunlight Cave, we have more big bucks.
Old man doesn't trust banks. He's just going to keep, 500 gold under his pillow.
In the old mattress, just like back in the what was that, the 30s or so?
Yeah, the Great Depression.
Which, the way some of these seeds go, people would probably, they wouldn't feel as bad as that, but they wouldn't feel great either.
Bride trying anything to get away from this wizard finally puts him to sleep. Looks like he's going to go rescue the princess. Don't know if he's seen the coordinates yet, but this may just be something to do on the way.
And now we've got the shopping here. Full plate armor for 60 is real cheap, but yeah, that flame sword is certainly worth the buy, as that is 28 attack power. And we have it confirmed there. Yes, Ryguy is shieldless.
Yeah, and Jack is going to find out that the Silver Shield is significantly more accessible, but not quite yet. And Bry, I don't know if Bry has stopped in a town yet or not. I think he may be the first person to find the swamp cave, though.
Well, looks like he's going for a grind here on these star wyverns that are in the spike tile in the swamp cave.
And 101, not bad, but we already know the poltergeists are definitely more efficient. Only one hurt more will take them out.
And level 12 for Ryguy, 2, 6, 12, and 8, I believe I saw as the statistic gains.
So that is Swamp Cave being in the basement. Yep, Bry's just going to drop Princess off.
And here in a chaos mode, the Princess proving a little bit more valuable is usually you just utilize her to let you know the coordinates. And Jack almost instinctively getting ready to walk over to the key shop in Rimeldar, but no keys needed in this one. So all of the key shop vendors, they're on holiday.
So yeah, Bry's going to have an easier time digging that armor out, but he's also going to be able to know how much experience to the next level, which is really nice to have in chaos mode.
Yep, you'll be able to tell whether you need 228 to the next level or 2,228 or whatever the case may be. And now Larry can pick up a token.
So yeah, token for Larry, another wyvern down for Ryguy at level 13 now. And finds a big old swamp with 2 caves in it.
And look to pass up what I believe was the mountain cave. On limited resources here, and finds the Staff of Rain cave. So he's going to trade in that silver heart, pick up the Staff of Rain. So Ryguy has all of the items needed to trade in for the rainbow drop to access Charlotte Castle. So a clear lead for Ryguy here, just about a half hour into this seed. As now Larry goes up to level 11.
Yeah, and it looks like Ryguy is just going to pass up on Mountain Cave. Maybe at least until he takes a nap at the end. Good check from him, too. Finds the Silver Shield for sale in Breckenary as well, so doesn't have to go back to Cantlin now.
And people say that Breckenary is useless. This is probably the part where chat spams me and says it is.
I've had enough seeds where I've had, maybe 20 MP, where I'm happy to see any town, no matter where it is. Token for Jack. And a mountain cave dive coming up shortly for Ryguy.
There's Erdrick's sword.
Wow, the only thing interesting left to find might be the... well, I mean, you can still try to dig the armor out, but...
Well, it won't be in a chest, so he'll be going for the coordinates for that, but perhaps maybe the death necklace?
I don't know. I'm always leery about using the death necklace in chaos mode.
You and me both.
But I'm
Now, the
always
way the
leery
death necklace...
chaos mode.
Yeah, I wanted to get that explanation. In the way that the death necklace works here in Dragon Warrior Randomizer, it's normally it just curses you and keeps you from being in the castle, but here there's an added advantage. Well, it's more of a trade-off, I'd say, in that when you put on the death necklace, you gain an additional 10 attack power, but it comes at the cost of 25% of your maximum hit points.
Oh, there's the fairy flute. I don't think we've seen a single golem this entire run from any of the racers.
I don't think so either. So the fairy flute in the vanilla game, as well as in here, is used to put the golem to sleep. And meanwhile, Larry looks to be counting out the coordinates to perhaps acquire the Erdrick's armor. Meanwhile, some big bucks for Ryguy to fully clear out the mountain.
All right, and Larry gets it, so not too bad of a trip, and he will enjoy his Erdrick's armor.
And Erdrick's armor, it's so coveted because it is the best armor in the game and arguably in all of RPG history, in that it has more defense power than any of the others, 28, but that's pales in comparison to all the other benefits, in that when you walk through swamps and barrier tiles, you take no damage instead of the respective 2 and 15 hit points. It reduces the damage done by the Hurt and Hurt More spells, as well as the Fire Breath and Dragon Lord 2 Breath. It negates the spell of Stop spell. So they can cast it, and it'll never take effect on you. Plus, every step that you walk through the land, you heal by 1 hit point. And level 15 now for Ryguy.
And time for Bry to go shopping, and helped himself to the flame sword, and is now going to help himself to these coordinates. So experience-wise, Ryguy still with a pretty nice lead, but the rest of the runners are catching up, and it's, one efficient grind could close the gap pretty quickly.
Well, there's the first golem, and Larry taking it out for a paltry 23 experience, so the fairy flute, a little bit more of a whammy in this seed. And there's the trip to the Rainbow Drop Cave, talking to the man affectionately known as the Jerk, because if you don't have all the specific items, most notably Erdrick's token, he'll kick you out of the cave like the jerk that he is. And Ryguy now has the rainbow drop.
Well, no death necklace yet to speak of, so it's probably hanging out in the treasury, most likely.
Either that, or it is the item that I don't think any of our runners got to that was deep in Garen's grave.
That is true.
Those are the 8 unaccounted for treasure chests thus far between all of our runners. And ooh, Magician's given 215 experience, and that's going to put Larry up to 12. And a virtual high five with Ryguy, but Ryguy now going to head to the north and continue the count around the water.
Yeah, he's in the right neck of the woods here. Fortunately, a lot of ocean in the way, and he is off, but not by much.
And he got it.
And attack power 125.
Checking the herb inventory, going to pick up on that.
Yeah, this.
What do you think? Go into Sherlock and take a swing and see what you got?
Well, it would be nice to know if the Dragon Lord is spell happy. If he's going to spend half of his turns casting sleep, this might be doable right now. Question in chat: any good grind zones? We've got Star Wyverns, who are, it's not the best grind. They're sitting in the Swamp Cave tile. They take 2 hurt mores and give about 100 experience. The Poltergeists and Hawksness, definitely the better grind spot, given about 120 and only taking a hurt more to kill.
Now, the other factor is because we have the short Sherlock, which Ryguy has now entered, there is the possibility of that third spike tile enemy, the mini-boss spot just before approaching the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, and with the short Sherlock, that is actually a really nice option. Normally, because of how far that third enemy is buried down there, you usually don't think to grind them very often, but it doesn't take nearly as long to get to the bottom of Sherlock when it's only 1 floor. And he's digging for that death necklace. Oh, wrong cursed item. Uh-oh.
We'll see if it's in vanilla. There it is, in the vanilla Erdrick sword chest.
Alright, so Garen wasn't buried with a death necklace. That seems like a good omen.
Now we've got a Magiwyvern. I haven't really seen too much of that here. As Larry now up to 13 and Brian not too far behind. Level 14 for Jack.
Magiwyvern, Skeleton, Wraith Knight. So see what the game considers the more annoying enemies to fight. And yeah, Ryguy's just going to take a peek at this Dragon Lord here. So the experience gain's slowing down for him quite a lot, and Jack and Larry are catching up pretty quick.
And we've got a Wraith Knight on the spike tile in Charlock. Now, they did take a couple of Hurtmores, I believe, or at least a Hurtmore and a Swipe for 161.
All right, on goes that.
Putting on the Death Necklace.
So this makes Dragon Lord 1 a little scary because DL1 could have rolled really high in attack. We'll see how this goes, but yeah, he's hitting pretty hard. Oh, he's got sleep too.
Oh no!
This could be bad. Good wake up, but he's got to go for the heal more. Yeah, he's hitting like DL2.
Sleep and Hurtmore for Dragon Lord 1. So he's got to burn 2 heal mores here, and we don't even know how many hit points he's got. He's been hitting for quite a bit, but he takes him out, and here we go to DL2. And a back attack, so first is going to be forced with a heal more. Thankfully, still has 13 left.
Yeah, and it looks like he's
12.
Yeah, just gonna swing for 12. Not gonna throw out the exploratory stop spell here.
He gets another 12. Well, it seems to be the number, hitting for 312s up to 36.
Larry making it up to level 14 right now. And Bry is going to find Mountain Cave and Harp Cave.
We're at 51, now 61 here. $75. Now, the Dragon Lord can have as little as 100 hit points and as many as 230.
It definitely doesn't look like he's spell happy, but he's going to be... it's not going to be very nice to find out if he's got heal at the end of this.
88 now up to 104. So if it's a low roll, we could be pretty close here.
And it was.
Oh
wow.
My gosh, he did it. 113.
Wow, paper Dragon Lord. And I think the other runners are going to have to... I don't know, when you see the finish time, you kind of have to metagame that, yeah, this Dragon Lord 2 was made of paper, don't you?
You have to figure that there wasn't something that was super shocking. But yes, chat, get out your GGs as Ryguy is going to take first place in this rather jet seat of a race with an official SRL time of 43 minutes and 46 seconds.
Yeah, super impressive finish. Just led wire to wire. And a really, really impressive performance all around.
It was just a matter of that early start, taking out that Wyvern to start things off, and that Wyvern giving, it was a little over 200 experience, I believe. I'm seeing if I can take, or no, it wasn't even 200, it was 128, and that was enough to vault Ryguy up to level 7. So the experience gain's very low from the start, but getting just that quick enough jump start was enough to do it.
Yeah, it was one of those situations of exponential growth. Once you got to 7, you got hurt more, and then you were off to the races. And, if you were stuck at level, 3 or 4, you didn't see you didn't see hurt more, and it took you a long time to get those levels.
It looks like a bit of a pause on Jack's screen for a second, perhaps seeing the dot done and probably wondering what happened. We'll put it that way.
Larry is going to pick up his Erdrick sword, and it looks like he's going to just grab that and run. Not even going to take a shot at the death necklace, apparently.
And up to NG asking in chat, Jackimus still looking for the staff cave, and that is one of the things being sought out at this point. As Larry now going to see the jerk and is going to acquire the rainbow drop. And it looks like...
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, it looks like he might be our second here to enter Charlotte Castle.
I thought it was pretty interesting, the builds from the start of the game. Ryguy being the only one that went the traditional strength HP, and it paid off, it being a death necklace seed. I think the other two, or Bry and Jack, are using agility. Strength agility builds, and Larry is using MP agility.
And with that, we have our victor here in the Discord. Ryguy, congratulations and GG. Man, what a rocket seed here.
Looks like Ryguy's muted. We'll give him a second to sort out some of the Discord issues. Larry at level 15 now, taking a look at the stats and deciding, you know what, I'm going to go murder some ghosts.
And some magicians certainly not hurting either with 215 experience.
Any luck, Ryguy?
Perhaps the dreaded push to talk being problematic.
And no worries, Rye. In the meantime, Larry is just, attempting to swing at this poltergeist, but dodges twice, which is not really expected.
And Jack, meanwhile, has found the Staff of Rain Cave.
Which means he will find, he's if he ignores Mountain Cave, that's no sword for him. But maybe at level 16, he might not think he needs it.
Uh, 9, 3, 5, and 8, the stat gains for Larry at level 16, and now taking a look here, 164 MP.
Well, that is a big pile of heal mores, and I mean, even without the death necklace, odds are pretty good for Larry, but he's gonna keep going. Never know when that next level is. but experience is all there now, and it's just a matter of who decides that yes, this is enough, and we're gonna go take a shot at the Dragon Lord.
And you have to wonder the strategy that comes into play when you see a dot done so early at this point, about 8 minutes ago. And you have to wonder, well, what happened? Did he get a level? Did he get to a level and all of a sudden jumped up another 5 or 6 and gained 30 strength? And I think that might be the mindset here of Larry, thinking, all right, if I get to 17, might it leap me up to 18 or things of that nature? And it looks like Ryguy joining us in the Randomania chat here, which is all right. We can transcribe everything that's going on here.
All right, and we have Jack going in at level 16, and with the Flame Sword, no less, and maybe he's the one that's metagaming that this Dragon Lord's made of paper.
Oh, wow. And Ryguy noting the exploration went really well. And so did the Wyvern at the beginning. That's what we were talking about. The 128 experience that leapt you from level 1 to level 7.
I also feel like Ryguy played a bit more aggressively once he did get to 7 than a lot of the other runners. Just threw out Hurtmores left and right, and we saw some other runners trying to escape from battle and fail. So I think just the kill 'em all strategy seemed to work out pretty well. And we've got Jack up to the Dragon Lord right now with significantly higher HP pool, but less attack power. See how this goes.
And is now going to see the Ryguy saying that's what Hurtmore is for. So now the Hurtmore's doing about as much damage as Jack is swinging, and now the Dragon Lord 1 attacking, hitting for 42, and hitting the sleep.
Yeah, so here comes Hurtmore. Uh-oh. This is getting dangerous territory here. Oh God.
No.
A 4-turn sleep, and back to the start for you. Meanwhile, Bry's going to dive at 16, and Larry, I think, hit 17 and is going to make a go of it right now.
And up to NG noting that Jack went without the death necklace, so only having the 123 attack power. So now we've got Bry in Sharlock, and we've got Larry dropping the rainbow drop now to enter Sharlock. And you can see very nice gains across the board for level 17.
Yeah, Larry's going to take some time to dig out the death necklace as well. And just cannot get away from the Strakey. Puts him to sleep, though, so definitely a good method for dealing with enemies here.
And Chad having a little bit of a discussion about Dragon Lord 1. It looks like about a quarter of the time it's casting sleep.
Yeah, Larry with a giant pile of MP here compared to everybody else. $150 still nothing to sneeze at, but well, Larry is not going to check the vanilla chest and is just going to go for it. And everybody is so close right now that I wonder if that treasury check is going to cost him a place.
Yeah, this is going to be ridiculously close between second, third, and fourth here. So both Bry and Jackimus on the Guardian Spike tile of the Wraith Knight. Bry first through it, Jackimus just about a second or two behind. But an encounter on Bry's side with a skeleton stopping him here, and Jack is going to be the first to talk to the Dragon Lord.
And gets another shot, but the extra... well, Bry and Jack are going to have the same amount of attack power. Larry might get through the Dragon Lord fight a little quicker, but right now, just continually running into these enemies might not be enough of an advantage for Larry. All right, and Jack lands the stop spell, so he should be pretty clear to move on to the next phase.
Meanwhile, Bry put to sleep, and he gets wrecked. Meanwhile, Jack onto Dragon Lord 2 gets a back attack. Hits for 7. As now Larry is also on DL2. Now up to 18 for Jack. Oh, and another 6, so we're at 24 on Jack's side.
Yeah, Larry, meanwhile, just going full out attack mode. Gonna use a heal more here. And max HP gets put to sleep.
And another 6, so up to 40. Now 46.
Yeah, with,
so a lot of low rolls here.
Yeah, despite the low rolls, though, 46 damage is a lot to overcome. So decides not to swing on that 48 and gets a 10. Larry comparatively getting much better rolls, already hit 2 13s.
So he's probably going to catch up here as it's now 65 to 75. Now 79 to 85.
Swings on the 49.
Gets the gamble and it pays off up to 91. Now they're both at 91 at the same time. And another 15, so 106 for Larry. So probably the next attack's going to do it here.
Yeah, another 7 for Jack, and Larry rockets ahead. Just nothing but low rolls from Jack at the start, and they're going to finish within seconds of each other.
So Jack had started the fight first, but having that 9 fewer attack power, Larry was hitting for 13s, 14s, 15s. And it is going to be ridiculously close, but get out your GGs for both AngryLarry and Jackimus, who finished with respective SRL times of 59 minutes and 31 seconds for Larry and 59:41 for Jackimus, just 10 seconds apart.
Yeah, GG. What an exciting finish.
And now Bry is back on the Wraith Knight. So I'm not sure what's more impressive, the close finish that's here, the fact that this is a Chaos Seed that is going to finish in roughly an hour for all of our runners. I mean, so much to say in so little time regarding all the different nuances of this seed. Well, then, of course, there was the challenge of trying to keep track of both of their totals at the exact same time.
All right, Bry lands the stop spell, so this is going to be smooth sailing into the second phase.
And with 134 MP, I mean, you're looking at 16 plus heal mores. Oh, but there's a dodge. So hurt more blocked, sleep blocked, and there is Dragon Lord one down. Oh, and he gets back attacked. Gonna have to burn a heal more to start.
He's going to burn a hurt more.
Perhaps a miss menu, or perhaps just going for the YOLO.
And we're joined by Jack in chat. GG, Jack.
Yeah, okay. How you doing?
And we're also joined by Larry. GG to you as well, Larry. All right, so Jack, I mean, the question on everybody's mind after this race is, what's the best sandwich that you've ever had in your life?
Oh, geez, that's a tough one. There's a lot of good sandwiches out there.
Wait, say sandwich again.
Sandwich?
Okay. And by the way, GG to you too, Edgeworth.
Thanks.
If I may interject for just a moment, brisulph finishing here as well, going with the double Hurtmore strats, and is able to take out the Dragon Lord 2, and is just concluding now, getting the But Thou Must from the Princess, and is going to finish in fourth with a respectable SRL time of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 50 seconds.
I think as an admin of the tournament,
Dragon Lord twice for real?
if that is true, as an admin of the tournament, I'm taking 10 minutes off of his time.
Hey, I did that once before, like 2 years ago. Pretty cool.
Is there a clip of that somewhere?
Yeah, I definitely highlighted it. But yeah, we raced a game.
My chat wants to know if it's Subway, your answer.
Oh yes,
I
the
do
best.
I do enjoy me some Subway. Not gonna lie, but no, the best sandwich I ever had is from a restaurant that sadly no longer exists.
That's
They did
always the
business
way.
the right way, I guess.
What was on said sandwich?
Oh man, you had like chicken and like geez, what's that shit called? Well, there's onions on it and cheese and bacon and some sort of like a spicy aioli and more chicken. Dude, it was great.
How do you go out of business when you make a sandwich like that?
Too much Frogger.
You exist on Prince Edward Island.
Oh.
So yeah, it was pretty hard to find that there guy with the old staff of rain that you needed to trade that harpin for. At least that that was difficult for me to find. But then it turned out to be in a pretty obvious place, and I just felt kind of dumb. Hello?
Hello.
Oh, geez, yeah. It got really quiet all of a sudden. I was really worried.
I'm here. I was just, as you were talking sandwiches, I was contemplating whether a Philly cheesesteak counts as a sandwich.
If you get it at Subway, no. If you get it in Philadelphia, yes.
Oh, well, goodness! Why would I go anywhere other than Philly for it? Unless it's somebody who was in Philly and just relocated.
Like Original Sal?
Exactly.
What's your opinion on gyros from pizza places?
Can't say I've ever had them.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that any gyro is a good gyro, right?
Think so, as long as you don't get that yogurt crap on it.
Not a fan of the tzatziki sauce.
I don't know what it is. I don't want it. Why would I want yogurt on my meat anyway? Just give me the meat in the pita and then, like, you know, maybe like a real condiment on the side to dip it in.
Hot sauce. Frank's. Good stuff.
Yeah, hot sauce or like some sort of spicy barbecue, like maybe a little bit of both. Like, I like to have my plate look like an artist's palette with like a little bit different smear of everything. And I like to just, you know, dip and mix and stuff. It's good stuff.
Just like a Bob Ross painting, just gonna use some Van Dyke barbecue sauce here.
Yeah, absolutely. Like if I can get some sort of rainbow of condiment colors too, I'll definitely do that.
Put the relish on the happy little tree there. Absolutely.
So, what's the most essential condiment to have at home? Like the one you can't do without?
Probably mayonnaise.
Mustard.
What kind of mustard do you like?
I like the French's spicy mustard.
All right, not yellow, right?
I
mean, it's yellowish in color, but it's not
yellowish in color, yeah. But I mean, it's like a spicy mustard is what it is.
I think we call that deli mustard in these parts.
Yeah, well, I'm just, you know, some uneducated hick from the old Maritimes there.
I'll train you. I have instructional courses on Discord 2 times a week.
Really?
Yeah.
I am, like, not working 2 times a week.
See, it lines up perfectly. I'd just taken the courses before.
Yeah, and now I have, like, a shelf full of horseradish mustard. It's great. Improved my life tremendous.
That is a pretty glowing recommendation from old Edgy there.
There's a local place by me that I actually have a bourbon horseradish mustard that's real good.
That sounds pretty good. What sandwiches you usually throw that on?
Might be easier to mention what sandwiches I don't throw that on.
It was a local sandwich shop here once upon a time, like a mom and pop thing that existed for 2 years and then left. They had this, it was called the BBC, and it was beef, bacon, and cheddar. So it was like a roast beef heated up, melted cheddar on a toasted garlic hero,
Whoa.
and cheddar cheese. But they'd use I would ask for horseradish on it, and it was like the clean your nose type horseradish. It was awesome.
Oh man,
Get too much in one bite, and you're
that's perfect.
Yeah, you get too much in one bite, and you're done.
Wow, that BBC sounds delicious.
It's nothing like a Unos dig shake race, maybe, but you know it is. It is probably one of my favorite heroes, that BBC. Yeah.
Whatever happened to those 2 guys anyway? I mean, seriously.
I don't know. Like one of them let themselves go and started to look like the other one. So like it's hard to tell when they stream like which one's which.
Yeah, I know. They both got that whole like face going on there. They're indistinguishable just about.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes, but yeah.
Have either one of them ever found a sword in that tournament yet?
I don't think so, but one of them doesn't need the swords. He needs to outkey his opponent because his opponent gets lucky with more keys. But we don't have to talk about that tournament. We'll talk about this one.
Oh yeah. Actually, did anyone actually find Erdrick's sword? I just kind of gave up on it after a while.
First chest in Mountain Cave.
Okay, yeah, I never went into Mountain Cave. At that point, I'm like, well, the other guy, first place is done. I better just, go with my not fantastic but acceptable attack power.
I found it in Mountain Cave in the first chest because when he was done so quick, I'm like, man, he had the sword from the beginning. I found Mountain Cave. I'm like, I'm going to just check the chest. And sure enough, it was there. So.
Well, he didn't get it from the beginning. Actually, looking here among the stats, it doesn't quite have that stat necessarily. But what vaulted Ryguy into the lead was very early on taking out a wyvern that gave 128 experience. And that just vaulted him from level 1 to level 7, got hurt more, and that was just off to the race.
Yeah, I'd believe that. My first kill was one of the regular nights, and I think that was close to 10 minutes in. And then I eventually got a wyvern, and I'm like, oh, I'm behind absolutely everyone else right now, I'm sure. Because the wyvern was the 5 hit point, freebie, and was worth a crap ton of points. So, yeah. But that's just how chaos. It's silly.
Well, as I'm looking here, strangely enough, the wyvern, I mean, it wasn't the quote unquote noodle necessarily. It just happened to have 4 hit points, but it also hit like a truck and cast hurt a lot. But the actual noodle was the Axe Knight.
Yeah, I could never figure out how many hit points that guy had because by the time I found one of them, I was one-shotting them.
Yeah, it only had 5 and it didn't hit for much, but it also didn't give much in the way of experience at only 18.
The first 3 ran away from me.
There was a lot of just trash monsters. And something that really annoyed me is that Repel wouldn't keep the trash monsters away.
Repel worked. It works on
the good ones, like all those magicians, which were press A for 200 points.
Yeah, it works on vanilla strength.
Oh, I was not aware of that.
Yeah,
I figured it would have been adjusted for chaos, but that explains why it seemed really wonky.
Yeah, that was the reason why I wasn't casting Repel later on in the game, is because I wanted to hit more Dark Magicians. Because who doesn't want to hit a Dark Magician?
I want to hit most things. Most things just look very, very punchable,
Oh, yeah.
Which is why you play Mike Tyson's Punch-Out so well.
I don't know. I've never even heard of that game before.
You don't say.
I was all set to make fun of the Bruins today, but then the Bruins beat the Islanders this week, so I can't say anything.
Oh man, that was such a great game to watch. And past, it was so classy, just leaving that puck for Bergeron, getting a 1000th game with the team. So cool, so cool.
Who's your favorite Boston Bruins goalie ever?
Oh man, he's such a despicable human after the fact, but that 2011 Tim Thomas season was ridiculous. Just so good.
No love for Cheevers.
Andy Moog.
Oh, Moog was a lot of fun. I remember liking Moog a lot when I was a kid. I didn't like him in those SNES NHL games. He let in way too many goals for whatever reason.
That's because you had to play EA Sports games on Genesis, not Super Nintendo.
I don't know that their SNES NHL 94s. I think it still holds up pretty good today.
Did you ever play that NHL Stanley Cup on the?
Yes.
where you could dump the puck from like the red line and it would always go over the goalie's shoulder.
Why do I feel like this is a story you've heard me tell and you're trying to trigger me right now? I played 22 consecutive overtimes in that game. Like in my first game, I set up a playoffs, 22 consecutive scoreless overtimes. Every time you ended the period 0-0, the message whoever is like, hey, another lackluster period for both teams.
Yeah.
I scored one goal, and it was because it hit the friggin' plexiglass behind the goalie and then hit the goalie in the shoulder and went in. That was my only goal I scored in the whole time I rented that game.
Yeah. You know, that game's a lot of fun, but the problem I always found with that game is that unless you abuse that dump the puck from basically somewhere between the red line and the opponent's blue line, the goalies are almost impossible to score on. They could have made them just a little easier to score on, get rid of that glitch, and that would have been such a great hockey game. It's
It
like
could be.
all the body checking and the neat perspective where it's just always the puck in the center of the screen is really cool.
It could be the best randomizer ever if someone just makes it and fixes it so people can score. And that's it. That's all you have to do. You just randomize the amount of times the puck can go into the net.
Yeah, that's all you got to do.
It's on Super Nintendo already, so the thing will blow up and be at GDQ.
So we could have like a Canada versus US two-player kind of thing or something, eh?
4 players, 2 controllers.
Oh yeah, that game didn't multi-tap, I don't think. That's disappointing.
So you mentioned, I was going to say, you mentioned NHL 94. Any other good sports games come to mind?
Yeah, there's a lot of them. I mean,
what's your personal favorite?
Personal favorite sports game? Oh, geez. It's a little unfair to lump golf games in with sports games, I think, because it's really easy to make a golf video game. So, like, my top 5 sports games are probably all different golf games because they tend to overall work the best out of most sports. Wrestling works really well, too, come to think. Like, there's a lot of... it's hit or miss, but I think it was WWF NWO was on N64, and that game was a ton of fun for wrestling.
WCW NWO Revenge, or NWO WCW
that's
Revenge.
What it was. That's what it was. Yeah,
that's my favorite.
WWF, WCW.
That's my favorite game because you can put Ultimo Dragon's mask on Booker T.
Yeah, Larry knows what I'm talking about. There we go.
Yep.
And we had a fight one time where it was 4 Hulk Hogans, but we just, all 3 of us ganged up on our one friend and created the classic quote, "I haven't been in the ring since 1984, which is not funny to anybody else, but it's hysterical to me because I was there that day.
Nice.
Edge is laughing. That's why he's not holding down push to talk.
Pretty much.
All right, but good game, everyone involved. Rye really knocked it out of the park there.
Yeah. That guy who won did a thing really good. And Larry beat me by like some seconds, so good job, buddy. That was close.
Yeah, thank you. I probably didn't deserve it, but I did it anyway. What level did you finish at?
I was 16.
Yeah, I 16. When I hit 16, I only had 100 attack power, 120 attack power, something like that. And I'm like, oh man, let me get another one. And it was like 5,000, 6,000 XP later. I finally got the next level, and I gained 4. But I had a lot of HP, so I had a lot of triples and doubles in there.
You must have used a different build, eh?
I used turbo, and I don't know if that's allowed in randomizer, but I definitely used it. No, I'm just joking. I didn't use it. But I hear that's a topic up for discussion, so I figured I'd lay that down there.
We could always use a little bit of controversy in this thing, I think. Hey.
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Why not, indeed. No, the difference, it was a 9 attack power difference between Jack and Larry. So Jack actually had gotten to the Dragon Lord first, but was hitting for lower amounts. And because of those doubles and triples, Larry was able to catch up and take the lead over that Dragon Lord, which only had 107 hit points.
Hey, come on now. Larry had a shinier sword than I did. My muscles were bigger.
Yeah.
Oh, well, without a doubt.
Well, yeah, man. I was slugging through with a sword that just, was slightly on fire. Larry Larry had this like crazy legendary sword from some ancient hero or something. I mean, there's no comparison.
If I'm taking 10 minutes off of Bry's time for doing the double hurt more, then I've got to take at least 30 seconds off of your time for using a flame sword. So yeah, I guess you're second, Bry's third. No, Bry's probably first now. After that, no, 10 minutes. He'll second. You're third. I'm fourth. I'll adjust the standings later.
Okay, so
I'm an admin. You can trust me.
Yeah. So the standings are everyone gets 2 points.
I don't even know if the points matter.
I don't know either. It's like whose line is it anyway, right? I mean,
yeah, I think
we're all just hanging out, having good times here. Is the way I look at it.
I think you should read the credits in the style of your choosing. But thanks, guys. I'm gonna go make some dinner and beg people to restream the race at 10 o'clock, the last race of the week. See you guys later.
All right, take her easy, Larry. She was good times, man.
All right, take it easy, Larry.
Certainly was a blast, and looking forward to more here with the tournament. And our restreamer, which I feel bad, I should have mentioned a little bit earlier, the folks behind the scenes here, CD Improv, taking care of the restreaming, and the Alan Heffley with the unenviable task of tracking all 4 of the screens here at the same time. But the seed went so quickly, I didn't get the chance to sneak it in there.
I don't know. I think there's a certain amount of envy in tracking 4 different screens at the same time. You just got to approach things from a different perspective.
Yeah, you have to move the eyes in the back of your head around to be able to catch everything.
I mean, you could do that, but I hear the Alan Heffley has like 3 sets of eyes on the sides of his head, too. He just got to surround himself with monitors, and then, man, he'll never miss anything.
Not a bad idea. A little pricey, but almost as pricey as that large shield that you saw in the game earlier.
Got to go for the NFL red zone strats, just 4 games at once. Get the old quad box going.
Yeah. Man, you Americans and your football. It's not a very good sport.
It's not. We still watch it anyway.
Oh, I pity you guys so much. You guys really need to embrace them hockey teams you got more. There's a lot of good ones there. Show up to their games more. Watch more hockey. It's a good game.
I mean, I would, but I'm a Sabres fan. I mean, at least I can watch them now, but the last few years have been pretty rough.
Yeah, and I'm a Flyers fan. That pretty much says it all there.
I don't know. That Carter Hart kid's looking pretty good. I mean, this year's definitely lost, but next year, Flyers could be all right. And next year, Buffalo's going to be even better with, Eichel and Skinner going nutso there.
Yeah.
Next year, the Flyers are going to be all right. Like, we haven't heard that for the last 44 years.
Yeah, but the difference is you guys actually have someone who's somewhat competent at being a goalie. That's, like, the biggest difference in that franchise in the last, since they've existed. I can't think of any goaltender who's ever been good for the Flyers. Even goaltenders that were good and got traded to the Flyers imploded. Look at Brizgalov.
Oh, Brizzy, yeah.
Great human, but man, he went from being pretty great to it's just a game. Why you have to be so mad?
A space cadet.
I think the only ones we've really had in the last 45 years were Bernie Parent and, for a cup of coffee, Ron Hextall.
Yep, that's pretty much it.
But, well, that whole thing in the 80s.
Yeah, and then GM Ron Hextall just ruined it. There goes his legacy.
Oh, you forgot about that brief period of false hope with Michael Leighton back in 2010. Just stringing you along. Then you get embarrassed in the finals. And then he forgets how to play the next year.
Well, there was a reason that I forgot about that.
Yeah, I try not to remember that postseason myself. Don't remind me.
I'll make sure not to.
I think that's gonna do it for this post game.
No, it's
Any
not.
final thoughts, Jack? It's not. Oh, that's a final thought.
No. Dude, I could just rant on and on and on and on and on about all sorts of random stuff for like 4 hours if we really want to. But if we want some actual final thoughts, well, I didn't win the race, but I did beat Brian. That is even better than winning. Have a good night. Let's go, Bruins. And I forgot the funny thing I was about to say because I have the memory of a goldfish. Have a great night, everyone.
All right, thanks, Jack.
Thanks, Jackimus. Great game. Well, I think we've all learned something here this evening.
If we did, I've forgotten it already.
That's usually how it goes. Well, want to make sure to give our runners here a follow. Ryguy, AngryLarry, Jackimus, and Bry for giving us entertainment.
Don't follow me. Don't follow me. I have really gross farts.
Okay, be sure to give 3 of our runners a follow: AngryLarry, Ryguy, and brisulph. And also make sure to give a follow to the folks behind the scenes here. Once again, thank you to CD Improv for taking care of the restreaming, as well as the Alan Heffley taking care of the tracking, and Edgeworth. Oh my goodness, what a heck of a race here, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we were going to be here for 3 hours, but this is probably the fastest chaos seat I've ever seen. So
we're a part of history, and I see Zarnax noting in chat less than a 30-minute post game. He feels gypped.
Well, hey, Zarnax, don't blame me, man. I wanted to go all night, but these guys apparently have other things to do. So, it's not my fault. It's not my fault.
Oh, we can throw a little something else in there, a little post game here.
Wait. What about a post-game game?
Or a post game. Well, I think that a few of the runners tend to do that as there's races that go on right after the fact here, and I'm sure that the races in the Dragon Warrior Randomizer community will be popping back up here in a little bit. And my name is all in caps here and on chat, and that's not usually a good thing. I think I just got yelled at by our restreamer. I'm in trouble.
It's all right. I got your back.
Well, I'm glad somebody does. I do appreciate it, and this has certainly been a lot of fun, and can't wait till the next one, which, oh, by the way, is about a little less than 2.5 hours from now. Going to be over on our sister station here, Randomania 2. It looks like it's going to be the Hangry Canuck, the aforementioned Zarnax 42, the Seawolf 1, and Scorpion Max to conclude week 2 of our Dragon Warrior Randomizer League.
Yeah, it sounds like a good matchup too. If I wasn't busy this evening, I would love to volunteer to restream and/or track. But anyone that's interested, feel free to make a note of that in the Discord.
Do they need people? I could make some words.
Yeah, poke Larry. I think they're looking for people.
I have been known from time to time to make sentence fragments and very, very rarely complete sentences.
Hey, complete sentences are overrated.
Yeah, I know. Shmup.
They are. And also the link is there in chat. If you want to give this crazy Dragon Warrior randomizer thing a try, the link is there to download the randomizer. And if you want to interact with and race against some of the fine and maybe not so fine folk in the Dragon Warrior randomizer community, you can join the Discord as well, as the link is there in chat for that. Did I get all the respective plugs that I need to get into here?
Sounds right to me.
Your Super Nintendo needs to be plugged in. That's why it hasn't been working the last few months.
True. I've been going more N64, the old Wayne Gretzky's 3D hockey, that dreck.
Oh, we were talking about good sports games. That's another really fun one. I like it when the goalie turns into an actual wall. That's cool.
That was fun, yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go get food. I'm hungry. I'll see you guys later.
All right. Later, Jack.
Later, Jack. So that leaves just us here.
Yeah, just again, thanks to Randomania for setting us up here, and thanks again to Alan for the tracking and CD for the restream. Greatly appreciate.
And Edge, thank you for joining me on this. Always a little bit of a soft spot, as the first time that I did all this crazy commentary stuff here on twitch.tv, you were my broadcast partner for it, and you kind of helped guide me along when I had absolutely no clue what I was doing other than running my mouth.
You had the broadcasting down pat. Just needed to learn DWR, and now you're an old pro at it. And it's always a pleasure doing commentary with.
Yeah, I figured if nothing else, I could broadcast my way through it and figure out all the other nuances later. And now, yeah, it's a lot of fun to be able to do these, and we enjoy bringing them to you here on the Randomania networks. So with that, thanks to everybody behind the scenes as well as in front of the scenes in the runnings. You can take a look at the Dragon Warrior randomizer. Do they have the league standings available somewhere? That's the one. Oh yeah, I think it's DWL is the technological chat exclamation point thingy. So this is where the technology comes in, and I go completely blank. Yeah, that thingy. There we go.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. Absolutely. So, yes, you can check out the standings and schedule of everything going on. I would imagine that if not tonight after the race at 10 o'clock, then at some point this weekend, there will be a feature here among the Randomania networks to lead into the drawings and pairings for week 3, which we're going to go old school, back to the standard Dragon Warrior Chaos, or Dragon Warrior Chaos. No, we've had enough chaos for 1 week. The standard Dragon Warrior randomizer that you're used to all along the way here, including the tournaments that we've seen over the course of the last 3 years here. So it'll be just plain old Dragon Warrior randomizer next week, but that doesn't mean that there won't be things random. We just needed to cool things off after this chaotic week, to say the least. So with that, make sure to check out all the things and follow all the followings. And again, for Edgeworth, until next time, I'm Ferran Burgundy saying, may your moves be excellent and your seeds stay classy. Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.